Okay, what is up, everybody? Good afternoon, and welcome to the stream. I thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I do apologize that we are, later than my usual starting time, but I did warn everyone yesterday in the weekend preview, as well as on Twitter, that I had some personal stuff to take care of earlier today. I actually had to head over to the local vehicle licensing office and actually get my car registered here in the state of Washington, which it now officially is. I now officially have Washington license plates. And so let's all hope, fingers crossed, that none of these automated cameras that they've got all around the state keep taking pictures of my license plate and trying to give me tickets because they think that I'm an out-of-stater that won't dispute the ticket. I already got one of those, so... So yeah, I now have a Washington licensed car, a Washington driver's license. Everything is Washingtoned up, which is great. And of course, it's not easy. And what I mean by that is, I'm still having remnants of the shittiness of Connecticut lingering. And what I mean by that is, so because I did have license plates from Connecticut. Connecticut is one of the few states that when you move out of the state and you license your car somewhere else, they want the license plates back because they reuse them. That's right, the state of Connecticut is so cheap that they reuse license plates and they demand that you return them. So sometime this week I'm going to have to go get some kind of a large mailing envelope and basically find a big mailbox around here because we don't have a big mailbox here to drop mail in at where I live, and mail it back to Connecticut so that they don't try to basically bill me Connecticut state taxes for my car now that it's not registered there anymore. So it's still a little bit of annoyance. I do have to say this though, the Washington licensing and registration process is amazingly streamlined and very well done. So we went to this office. Here's the difference. In Connecticut, everything's together. If you want to get a driver's license, if you want to renew your license, if you want to register a car, if you want to pay taxes, you have to do it all in the same building, okay? Which means that when you go to the DMV in Connecticut, the Department of Motor Vehicles, the building's always incredibly full of people waiting in line because they're all there to do different stuff, okay? In the state of Washington, it's very, very different, okay? Very different. The way it works here is it's different buildings for different reasons. So if you need to get a license renewed, you go to one building. If you need to get the car registered, it's a different building. And because of that, the process is incredibly streamlined. We showed up and there were tons of people there in line, but we got served within 10 minutes. The registration was done within, I'd say, 10 minutes. So all in all, the trip took a whopping 15 to 20 minutes and we were in, done, and gone. So that is one massive great thing about the state of Washington, at least in this area, the Seattle area. And I do very much like that and appreciate that. Because in Connecticut, if we went to the DMV, I don't think I've ever gone to the DMV in Connecticut and not spent less than 2 hours there. So we had to do that. We got that done. And it is done now. So really, there's only a few things lingering that haven't been taken care of now that I moved to Washington. One of them, of course, being health care. I am still waiting for my health care to show up. I need to wait about 3 more weeks for my information to be processed, and then another couple of weeks for the actual healthcare company, insurance company, to send me my stuff. And then pretty much I'll have everything registered and done here in the state of Washington and set up. And that would be good, because then I don't have to really worry about lingering stuff anymore. Of course, now that I say that, I realize that in 1 week's time my taxes are due. What I mean by that is, since I am self-employed 4 times a year, I have to mail in taxes to the federal government. Now, the good news is, because I live in the state of Washington now, I don't owe I don't owe the state of Washington anything because they don't have a state income tax here. So right there, that's thousands of dollars in my pocket saved that I would have had to pay the state of Connecticut that I'm not paying them anymore. That's great. But I do have to pay, I believe, I'm probably going to have to dump a good $7 grand or more to the federal government because they like to take my money. What they do with my money is a whole other story. I wish I knew, but that's the way the government works here in the United States of America. So, it is great today. Let me tell you, different from yesterday. Yesterday, it was so freaking hot here. It was incredibly hot. Today it is cool. It is nice. It is in, I'd probably say the high 60s to low 70s. It's cloudy and drizzly outside. I know you're like, oh, cloudy and drizzly, that's not good weather. Well, it is when you've had a summer that was so hot and unseasonably hot. They never have hot summers here. To finally get some reprieve from it. And actually, Leanna and I are looking forward to the fall, if you can believe it. We really want it to be cool so we can, like, start to relax and have blankets and stuff and not have to worry about sweating all day, which is a lot of what the summer was for me, being in my office here with no air conditioning. So, it's nice. The weather's good. You can probably hear a plane flying by right now. I can hear it. And I am feeling energetic and excited for this new week of gaming that we're about to jump into. Okay. So today, what's today's stream? How are we going to handle it? Today's stream is the conclusion of my Sims 4 launch week gameplay. Meaning now the week is about to, well, the week of Sims 4 is about to end. I already played the game 4 times last week, which I really didn't know if I was going to, but I ended up liking the game a lot and playing it a lot. But at this point, I really feel that I've gotten to the point that there's not much else to do in the game. You know, I'm going to keep throwing parties, because that's the goal of my sim, Hunter Sims, is that he wants to be a party animal, a social guy. And I got a girlfriend, and outside of that, maybe I could either get married or have a kid, but outside of that, there's not much else to do in the game. I've gone to every building, I've gone to the nightclubs, I've gone to the library, I've gone to the museum. I've pretty much done everything, and there's nothing else to do besides just kind of mess around or use cheat codes. And I know that there's a ton of people who, when they play The Sims 4, oh, I gotta try every character profile, and I gotta try every career and every aspiration, and I'm gonna have kids. And you know, I think that at this point, playing the Hunter Sims gameplay for a week, that we pretty much, you know, extended the amount of gameplay that we can get out of it until there's a reason to come back. And so some people have been saying, Phil, are you going to go back to The Sims 4 at some point? You know, are you going to maybe make a new sim? Are you going to play the expansions? Well, the answer is basically I don't know. I enjoyed playing it for this week, but let's face it, we're into the hardcore gaming season now. Every week moving forward, there's going to be tons of new releases. I'm already stuck into 2 incredibly long playthroughs that are probably going to end up being 200 parters or more, and I don't really have the time to continuously keep playing Sims. Now, as everyone knows, The Sims is incredibly infamous for releasing tons and tons and tons of expansions. I would probably say with The Sims 4 there will be no less than 10 expansions, and I'm not exaggerating. The Sims 3 had about that. So, if an expansion comes out, let's say in a few months, and things are slowing down, okay, and I think, oh, gee, you know, I'm a little bored, there's not much going on game-wise, oh, The Sims is getting an expansion, well, then I might actually get it and try it out and see, you know, what is the expansion all about, and do a quick walkthrough of it for everybody, okay? But, you know, it's definitely not something that I'm looking forward to spending more money on, considering I spent $70, yes, $70 for this game already, for the Digital Deluxe Edition, and after a week's time, I'm pretty much kind of burnt out on it, and there's not much left to do in the game. Now, you might say, well, how much do the expansions cost? The expansions can cost anywhere between $20 to $40. And that's kind of ridiculous. Huh. You know, I already paid $70 for the game. Oh, the expansion pack comes out. $40. What? Yeah, basically The Sims is a money pit. It's a money pit that lots of people bought into over the years and continuously sink their money into it. They like The Sims so much that they're willing to spend tons and tons of money for every little add-on. So, I'm not necessarily saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying it is. And, you know, will I be checking out the expansions? It depends. If there's an expansion pack that seems like there's a lot of neat and fun stuff, maybe I will. If there's an expansion pack that seems kind of weak, I might skip it. And again, it's going to depend on what I'm doing at the time. Are there new releases? Am I in the middle of a project? You know, and figure that out. I have a few things to update everyone on, okay? First of all, I've been looking at my gaming calendar, okay? I've been looking at it and saying, geez, look at all these games that are going to be coming out soon. The month of October looks absolutely insane, even the month of November. And I made a few decisions, okay? First of all, when it comes to new series and new content, I have a few ideas, series that I've been brainstorming, series that since the beginning of this year I wanted to do, and I didn't do because I lived in the state of Connecticut. I didn't have a private office. I didn't have enough shooting locations, and basically some of them are going to be outside of my comfort zone, some of these ideas that I have, okay? One idea for a series that I have is I want to do a YouTube parody series where basically anytime that YouTube updates or screws up or has a bug that everyone's being affected by, I want to do like a parody video, like someone works for YouTube and they're informing you of that. It's, oh, that was on purpose and here's why. And I think it could be pretty funny, the idea that I have for it. And I think you'll like it once you see it. It's just something that I actually bought props and everything for it, and I didn't get a chance to do it in Connecticut. And I definitely want to do it. Another thing that I'm thinking of doing, that I've actually wanted to do for about a year now, I'm thinking of bringing back Project 7. But not like you think. I'm thinking of bringing back the original Project 7. Meaning what I wanted to do with Project 7 originally, but then I never really did it. And then when I rebooted the series, it was something completely different. So if you don't know, the original Project 7 was actually going to be me basically stuck playing a game that I really hated and doing a playthrough of it, but it wouldn't be a full playthrough. It would basically be me playing the game and kind of doing highlighted segments. So maybe, you know, this episode would be 30 minutes long, and it would be a half an hour of me going through some of the, you know, parts of the game, and some of it would be gameplay, some of it would be skits, like cutting back and forth between the characters of Project 7 and stuff like that. And I wanted, this was what the original was going to do. Okay, this is what it was going to be. The original was going to be me and Deathface and me playing this game, and it was going to have comedy stuff. But I never got around to it, and then it ended up being something different. So I may actually start that, you know. And I actually have a couple other ideas for things as well. Remember I said Game Day? I was going to do the series Game Day. And let's face it, I just didn't get around to it. And at this point, I really don't know if I really want to try to figure out how to do it, because I'm going to be so inundated with new games. People are going to be like, why are you wasting your time doing Game Day when you could be playing this new game right now? So maybe what I'm thinking is 2015 is going to be a year of renewal. 2015 is going to be a year of fresh content that I'm going to start making for you, especially because I'm tired of basically having downtime when there's games that aren't very good. And, you know, we're kind of sitting around playing blasé games. And I'll be honest, this move during the summer and the fact that there were no good games during the summer made me lose some of my viewer base. Because people said, well, this is boring. Phil's playing boring stuff. And it's not new stuff. And, you know, they kind of went away. And I need to find a way to reinvigorate everything, to make new content that's fun and original. And it's not just me sitting around playing games all the time. Alright? And I want to get back to that. I want to get my creative juices flowing again. And I thought about this for a couple weeks, and I've decided 2015 will be a year of renewal where I will be starting several new series, okay? So there you have it. So, if you're looking for 2015, or, you know, if you're looking for a new series, 2015 is when I'm going to start. I'll probably start up with all new shows and stuff. And don't worry, it doesn't mean that the gameplay is going away. It just means that I'm going to have a renewed focus on other stuff and variety. So that it's not all just raw gameplay all the time. Okay? Speaking of which, this is kind of funny, because last night on Twitter I was just brainstorming, and I was on my iPad, and I'm like, you know what? I use my iPad a lot for gaming now. I mean, over the past couple of years since I got my iPad, at night I pretty much use it all night as I watch TV or I'm relaxing to play mobile games. And I pretty much have some pretty big expertise in games such as Injustice, now with WWE Supercard that I've been playing the hell out of. And I'm like, you know, I could make videos of this. I'm not saying I could do a playthrough of it, because that's, I think, what people misunderstood me. I don't think anyone would want to see me do a playthrough of WWE Supercard. It would be incredibly boring. But I could do a walkthrough video of how the games work, explain the strategies and tips that I've used to do well in these games, okay? And basically do like a tutorial walkthrough video of these games with, yes, it would have video editing, cutting from scene to scene. It wouldn't just be raw footage, and I thought that that would be something good too. Again, new series that I'm trying to brainstorm. So I was thinking about that. Someone said you could easily just get an HDMI cable. They apparently have an HDMI cable for the iPad. And if that's the case, I could easily have my iPad connected to my HDMI splitter and then just, go to my PC, and I could easily directly capture video and then just do dub voiceovers later if I had to. So I'm thinking about all this new stuff that I can do that basically would, I think, be pretty interesting and bring maybe some new attention rather than just raw gameplay. Because let's be honest, raw gameplay, as much as I love playing the games, it's very hard to get audience retention anymore. No matter what game I play now, it seems like the first few parts get good, decent views, and after that everyone just says I'm bored and they stop watching. So I'm not saying it's going away. That's the core content of all of my stuff on YouTube. But I'm saying that I need to kind of renew my focus and try to do more creative stuff if I want to survive. You know what I mean? I can't just do the same thing and watch stuff kind of dwindle and go away. I have to be more creative and individual and do stuff that people want to see. It's inevitable. Times change. In 2010, everyone wanted to see raw gameplay. Not so much anymore. Okay? So, that's some of the ideas that I have for next year, everybody, and I hope that some of those sound good to you. I hope that you'll be here to check them out, but of course we have to get through the hardcore gaming season to get to that point before I can start working on those. So we still got a few months of tons of gameplay coming your way, okay? Now, one last thing, and this was kind of not really an announcement, but something that I discussed with my parents a couple days ago, is that they want to visit. My parents want to visit. They want to come see the place. They want to spend about 5 days here during the holidays, and I think that would be awesome. I mean, they want to leave Connecticut. Obviously, I'd like to see them, here. And right now, we're debating having them visit either during Thanksgiving or Christmas. And at this point, taking a look at the game releases, I think it makes more sense for Christmas. And the reason I say that is because there's almost nothing coming out in the month of December versus the month of November. The 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, we've got The Crew, Halo Master Chief Collection, Assassin's Creed Rogue, Assassin's Creed Unity, Far Cry 4, Dragon Age Inquisition, and the new Pokemon game on 3DS. So it's like, I think, basically, that we should be, be smart here. I know I'm not going to beat all those games in 2 weeks. So I'm probably going to need that Thanksgiving week to actually go hardcore into gaming mode. And so I think that Christmas will probably make more sense, right? Now, don't worry. It doesn't mean that there's going to be no content during that time period. It just means there will be less content during that time period. Maybe I'll do one stream a day, and then I'll spend the other half of the day going out and doing stuff with my parents. I don't know. It's not clear right now what the arrangements will be because we really don't have an extra bedroom for them to sleep in. Both of our offices, obviously my office is for work and Leanna's office is for work. She's using it to record and soap making and stuff. So we really don't have anywhere for them to sleep. We're probably going to have to get them a hotel for the week. Driving arrangements as well. If they want to drive around, I might just let them drive my car, I'm thinking. Rather than get a rental car. I think that would make more sense. And actually the airport isn't too far from where we live, so rather than have to, arrange for them to get a taxi or whatever, I might just pick them up. So all this stuff's going through my head, I have to plan all this stuff, and there's plenty of months for that. But the cool thing is they'll be here for Christmas, and maybe I could do some vlogs of us, what we're doing for Christmas. This year, I do want to do a Christmas special. However, it's going to depend on how much time I have now with this going on, right? And we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens later this year. I have lots of filming locations for a Christmas special. The problem is now I have to actually think of one that I can do within a reasonable amount of time. All right, everyone. So I'm gabbing. I know this is a pretty long pre-stream. I know I'm gabbing it up here. I just had a lot to talk about. So yeah, we're gonna get started. Don't worry. Today's stream is going to be about 2 to 2.5 hours. The conclusion of Hunter Sims, and then tonight, keep in mind, tonight's stream is going to be Leighton versus Wright again on second stream. And I'm probably going to end up doing Leighton versus Wright second stream a lot this week. We'll have to see. It all depends on what happens with Destiny. Tomorrow is Destiny Day. Everyone's talking about Destiny. Go get Destiny. Play Destiny. 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 because it's made by Bungie, and because it's being advertised and promoted like crazy. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing Destiny with viewers. You know, whoever's jumping on and wants to do co-op with me in Destiny, I'm going to do that on the first stream. Second stream will depend on how it goes. If people are really liking Destiny, I may do Destiny on second stream. If people are tired of Destiny already, then I'll do something else. Leighton vs. Wright or Tales of Exilia. We'll see what happens. And so this week, that's probably what this week's going to be. Destiny on first stream, and then either Leighton vs. Wright or Tales of Exilia on second stream, continuing on with all those playthroughs for the week, okay? Destiny, 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 Destiny. Okay. Alright, everybody, so let's end the pre-stream. We'll jump into The Sims 4 for the final time. For now. Okay. For now. However, you know, we may come back to it in the future, as I said. We'll have to see what happens with the expansions and see if I feel that they're any good. Destiny, 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 Destiny. Okay, so let's end the pre-stream and get started with the final Sims 4 gameplay, Destiny.